you know, like unless it was bringing in a lot of revenue or, you know, I outperformed the entire company. Like there was one time where because the company I work at is a global company, I had one of the highest stats in globally. And I didn't even say anything. It was like my manager that had to say it.
Do you know what we...
Is that from a humble perspective, or the fact that what you were saying, the fact that you don't feel like you're outperforming the men around you?
I mean, I guess it's both. Like I'm not really a shout about it.
You know what's funny
anyway,
about that?
But...
You know what's funny about that? Not even to take it back to the systematic thing of things, but even the fact that you're asking that question, it's so interesting to me because as a black woman, I get it. I just get it. Like we've been taught so much, and it even goes back to your point, Annette, about this subconscious thing of us shrinking ourselves and kind of like wallflowers and like that thing of, as a black woman, like it's just kind of my job, like just get on with it, you know what I mean? And that whole thing of humbling yourself for someone else, even the fact that you can ask, is that a choice? I think it's so interesting because men choose to buy into that, whereas as women, we're excluded. As black women, bigging up myself.
Yeah, we really don't have that option.
Forget about it. We don't have that option. It's not given to us. It's something we have to learn. And what you were saying about the distin, about we, it's just, I don't care anymore. Girl, you take critical thinking so for granted. You know, there's some women somewhere in America, someone that will say it's masculine energy to want to. Because that's where the Americano madness is. I don't know, but there's a woman somewhere in America saying, yeah, but to want to outperform a man is masculine. Woman. As a black woman, so many of things that just should be are so heavily politicized. So us just being like, yeah, but someone else somewhere is like, that is a direct attack on their ego. That why should you feel like you should have the right to do better than me? So when we're having these conversations and we have certain views, I think we get into the habit of thinking, I just think this way just because. No, there are so many things at play, so many.
And I think as black women as well, like we already know we're at disadvantage in terms of men when it comes to like beauty. Like we're already, I remember like as a dark skinned girl, like as a younger girl, like I just thought I was ugly, full stop. Like so I'm now like, do I now want to seem masculine because I perform? Do I want to be able to hold a conversation? Like I'd rather shrink myself to be feminine in every other way. So then, you know,
but why is it
I can be attractive.
Find dumb women
like obviously
smart
now
then?
I don't care, but
I mean, beautiful.
Say that again.
Why is it that men only find dumb women beautiful? Why can't you be smarter than me?
I don't think dumb is the word. I think, you know how you lot were saying like humbling of oneself. Yeah, I feel like a lot of women, not everyone, but some women might play into the idea of like femininity. So the more reserved you are as a woman, the more you allow your man, quote unquote, to I guess, be in a position to lead. You're saying, but this is how some women.
I'm just saying that the idea of it.
Submission, isn't it? Submission that your man.
So they play into that, and to some degree, this might sound mad, innit? But there is an element of it where it works. I just feel like where the clash happens is where, for example, now you might see a woman, especially a black woman who's doing very well for herself, play into like these high position roles, and sometimes I feel like this is more the perspective of the man. He probably feels like, okay, you're in a position where you're doing even better than me or at the same level as me. So now he might feel like she might take on a certain bravado into, if we're talking about like from a relationship standpoint, anyways. So I might see you in a position of power, for example, and then with that power, you might take a level of bravado and kind of undermine me.
But then why do you see that level of bravado? Why is it framed in that way? I've got a new job. I done fucking leveled up. I've leveled up, and you simultaneously want me to humble myself for your comfort.
I'm speaking in third person.
No, okay. We'll give this person a name, Emeka, and I don't know, and Akria. Yeah, come on, cool. Inter-tribe, intraracial, distinct, right? Emeka, cool. So Akria's now got a new job, and now Emeka wants to lose his head at that. Sorry, respectfully, Emeka, get your money up, brokey. Because of what? Like I've heard this argument so much. Oh, but when women start to make money, they don't respect men anymore. But it's like
you're just
devil's advocate to that though. Oh wait. So like devil's advocate to that though, like. The only reason there are men, I feel like quite a few men in the world actually do like that though. They do like a woman that's got her own, that can handle herself. But those are the men that know they can offer more than the money. and they can offer more than the protection than like, huh?
She's got her own at a cap.
There's a difference between independence and emasculating somebody.
That's all we're meant to provide, though.
But then to emasculate someone is just disrespectful. So what? Again, I have to
take him out of his position as a man. That would be emasculation.
Define that for me.
Yeah, but then don't date a woman that's going to disrespect you. Like, it goes both ways.
You never know if she's going to disrespect you anyways.
I mean, but you'll never know either way.
Oh dear.
You never know. Like,
We'll never know
you know, on the first date, you're not gonna sit there. Actually, you know what? Maybe like it's the way he talks, but like you know.
But babe, don't you think that a woman can emasculate you with money or without?
That's what I was literally just thinking.
That's true though.
But I feel like, again, in third person.
Emeka.
Sorry, Emeka.
Emeka might just feel
Sorry,
like
baby.
Because obviously, with money, there is a certain level of in society's eyes. If you have more money, you're looked at a certain way. A lot of opportunities are brought your way. There's a certain level of power that comes your way because you're financially stable and can provide for yourself or others. So if I've seen that you have this power over me as a man, and especially how society has played into the fact that I am supposed to be in that position of power.
Those are the things I'm supposed to do.
Those are the things I'm supposed to do. You're taking me out of my role as a man.
So whose fault is that? Mine or yours? Whose fault is that? Mine or
I don't
yours?
think it's a conversation about fault, though.
It's not about fault. I'm just saying these are the perspectives of how some men think.
Emeka would feel that way.
You can still provide though.
Yeah, I mean there are other ways to provide.
Like, I'm not saying women, but I feel like you guys have ran this notion for a very long period of time where one of the ways we provide is financially, and you've been running with that, and we hear that till this day.
Do you think it's women that have been running with that?
Yes.
I think that's how it's been.
I think there's a certain level of the man first. Okay, I'll use me now personally. Obviously, I want to be successful in life. That's my mindset. So obviously, that's a given. But I understand now. Let's throw this into obviously the relationship between a man and woman. In terms of like our proximities, if I throw myself into the dating pool, I know that my pool is going to be wider if I have more money, because a certain level of women are going to look at me a certain way because one, I can provide, and two, women are hypergamous, so they want to be with someone who will be able to provide for them.
Hypergamy.
If you're
I love talking about it. I mean, I didn't mean it.
I love hypergamy.
I'm not saying it's different that she's going to leave you. If you do not show any form of structure, she's not looking your way, or she won't be there for as long. So you're not playing to that for us. That's why we feel like I need to be in this position.
Okay.
Sorry?
And who set that up though?
You said
I
chicken and egg.
speak, you know, you are making me.
You said okay, so you said chicken and egg, yeah? Right. I'm gonna disprove that. Egg came first. Egg came first. Egg being an egg, the beginning. Egg. Everyone's got an egg. We've all got eggs. Well, girls got eggs, yeah. So meaning eggs have existed, and that stage of life has existed before chickens did. Yeah. So saying that, the egg being patriarchy.
That's what I was asking.
Patriarchy has been there from the beginning of time. Women are the foot soldiers of patriarchy. Some of the most dusty bitches I've met are pick-me's. And pick-me's are upholders of patriarchy. So when you're talking about, but women uphold a certain... Yeah, because that's what we've been taught. And it's a system of capitalism. So I should now come marry for love when there's bill? No.
Oh yeah, the biggest reason for divorce is money. 100%.
I can see why that is.
But then, like, it is the biggest reason for divorce. And I think people, as much as we can say, like, women shouldn't really date for money, or men shouldn't feel like as if they have to, you know, provide a certain way. Life exists, and love is not enough. Love is not enough.
I disagree.
No,
Really?
like
Love is
love doesn't put a roof over your head.
Next time you have a direct debit, pay in love.
I wish I could.
Pay in love.
But I feel like
I'm the rich.
no, I feel like as young people, you said something about like structure as well, which is a good point, because I feel like as young people, we don't have it like all together. We don't have the money straight away. Some people do, but I feel like even in like relationships, it's important to, like, if you're going for someone, whatever your reasons may be, but it's important as well to look at if that person has a structure, if what is that person kind of working towards. Everyone has their own, you know, what you're going into love for, but I feel like that's important, and it's interesting as well when you see that in terms of like a structure, I guess, as well. So patriarchy.
I mean, there is the standpoint where you can see the love being defined by the dynamic. So if you are in a relationship with a woman and she's not making any of her own money, or a lot less than you, the dynamic becomes more of she depends on you. And depending on the type of man you are, you will feed off of that. And then there are other men who are a bit more mature in their
Are you
emotions.
saying I'm weaponizing my finances? Is that what you're saying?
A lot of
In
men
a
do
way.
that.
Do
In a way,
subconsciously
like,
as well.
yeah, it's more sometimes it is like done outrightly. Like they purposely go for girls that are young, who don't have anything going or anything like that. Whereas like, you know, there are men who genuinely go, well, she doesn't make anything, so she's gonna have to depend on me. So she's gonna do whatever I ask her to. She's gonna, exactly, she's got nowhere to go. Whereas a woman that's got her own, I think men are threatened by that because the love dynamic changes. Like if she chooses you, that means she can also unchoose you. She can
And
also up and go.
Yeah.
Deep though.
So it's like, I think it depends on how emotionally mature that man is. And that's why women sometimes go for men that are a bit older. That are a bit older, who may have gone through their therapy or gone through their emotions, because they won't see love as, oh, she needs to depend on me. So I think it really, if it depends on how you want to see the love dynamic. So as much as you're like, yeah, love is enough, like it depends. It really depends, because the dynamic can change.
No, I was going to say something, but Mary, I know you wanted to say something before.
It's gone from my head. Wait, no, go on.
I don't. There's a lot of bias in this world, you know, men, and I think every like.
Oh, good.
Yes, it's true. I don't like men. It's true. Beat me if you like. It's true. But
Oh my god.
200 years ago, they would have dumped you in a river and tried to find out if you're a witch or not.
oh well. What a way to go. Witch. Anyway,
Right.
you know, Clubhouse has exposed me to a lot of weirdos, you know, and I don't like men, but my favorite group to dislike, over 30s. Oh my god. There's a certain thing about men where they get to a certain stage in life and they're only wise because they learnt from their stupid mistakes, i.e. mistreating other women. And like emotional maturity, I don't think is something that is really sold to men, in the sense that men aren't taught that if you are emotionally mature, you're going to gain something. Whereas women, being emotionally mature is a skill. You're going to raise kids one day. You've got to learn how to deal with your shitty boss. You've got to learn how to navigate the world with your girls, and we all have hormonal stuff and whatever. So like there is a incentive for us to be emotionally mature. Like, you're so shocked that men weaponize their worth and their wealth. That is what a lot of men do, especially if like that is the closest thing I have to control, and not every man with money is secure enough to know that, do you know what, if I lost everything tomorrow, I'd still be a wavy nigger. Not every guy knows that, you know. Not every guy does know that. So the shock, like, you'd be surprised how many women, even this whole thing of, oh, divorce is so unfair, divorce is unfair because men made it unfair. The only reason why people have to give over a certain amount is because men were so dedicated to their power that a woman divorcing him and having no access to money and power and wealth, great, beautiful, lovely, I love that. That's why men, and there's another thing called, after this I promise I'm going to stop talking, but there's this thing called the manosphere. Everybody go look at it. The manosphere is basically where the incels and them lot come, where the incels and that come from. And there's a group of them called fathers' rights groups, and it comes into like,
Oh yeah, I've heard, yeah.
and it comes under like, oh, like how the law is so unfair and yada yada
Against
yada.
men,
It's all men,
What's
like,
your question?
yeah.
You see yourself feminist?
Of course.
Would
It's
you
on my
consider yourself
forehead.
Feminist?
Do I consider myself
Yeah.
feminist?
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, there's
think so.
mainstream feminism and then black feminism.
I'd probably say I'm more of a black feminist than
And then there's social feminism as well. Social feminism and radical feminism. Like, I see you as more of a social feminist.
I think I'm getting closer and closer to Raj, you
I was
know.
about to
Really?
Say that. I was about to say that.
I'm getting closer and
Did you
closer to
describe yourself
Raj.
as a misandrist earlier? Or do you...
It was a joke. It was a joke. No, it's a joke.
No, okay, I get that.
I probably would have made you kneel on the floor and put your hands up.
Only reason I asked is I don't know if you lot saw the Candace Owens things this morning. Obviously, she was talking about feminism and how she feels like a lot of what is being preached is almost being at the detriment of men, to the point where it's like we're trying to eradicate men from this world. So that's why I asked you that, because I don't know. I hear what you're saying, But I feel like there's a lot of women, whenever they call themselves feminists, yeah, it's not coming from the bias where it's like they're just trying to see them on a level playing field. It's gotten to that point where it's so radical now. It's like we don't want men, period. I don't know if that's your vibe, innit? But I don't know how that works. In my eyes, I feel like that's. In my eyes, I feel like that's.
I feel like that's just fragile
songs.
masculinity talking rubbish again.
That part.
Literally. I feel like that's just fragile masculinity talking rubbish again. Because it's not true that women want to bypass men and eradicate them. That's not true.
But I'm saying that's the mindset of some women in terms of feminism. That's how
A minority, like, it's literally a small minority.
No, pygmies are everywhere, you know, sis.
Yeah, pygmies are everywhere. But they're not the ones who want to be, like, above men. Like, they're not the ones that are shouting for them.
But that's what we see though on social media.
Imagine having so many pygmies to support you and you're still complaining.
There's so many rants of women.
No, there's bare pygmies in
they're
social
amplifying
media.
that same voice.
There's loads of pygmies
Everywhere.
everywhere. They're everywhere, you know.
As in,
That's more because it just creates retweets. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I was
Social
gonna say-
media is the kind of place where you don't post centric views.
I'll give you a lot of that, but I feel like I don't know, man. I don't know.
But okay, so this is coming from someone that knows feminist theory quite well. If you can gather all the things that we've been saying, like social feminism with like men stop being creeps at night and stop being rapists and stop, using your power and whatnot in inappropriate ways. If you can listen to all of that and your conclusion is to arrive at we want to eradicate men,
I didn't say that.
I don't know what it is now. I can even continue to tell you.
masculinity talking rubbish
There are
again.
some women who obviously want to see a level playing field, and then there are some women who take that up a notch to the point where they just don't want men. Period.
What do social feminists want?
Social feminists blame capitalism
What do they
for
want? What do they want? What's the outcome?
What do you
What's the
want?
outcome? Yeah.
what social
So
feminism.
it's obviously not eradicating men. So
No, social feminism is more how can we change the system to not allow men to have so much power over us, whereas
Okay.
radical feminism is more men are the issue, men need to fix themselves, it's all men. So, like, literally, that's what it is. Like, it's all men.
Own your shit. That's your vibe. I'm
Don't
not
let
saying
them
it's a bad thing.
demonize you here.
No, I don't mind being the bad guy, Tani, because you know what it is. Men have done so much evil in this world. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
radical
but
feminist.
I'll
beat me.
fight you on that one in the sense that it is capitalism that allows them to do so. We live in a capitalist society where there has to be an inequality for society to exist.
Yeah.
And men just happen to we just happen to draw the short straw. That's it. So I feel like I'd say I'm more of a social feminist because it's like if capitalism didn't have such a big standing in the community, men could come down. We could go up and men could come down a bit more. But but it's like radical feminism, like
Oh, God, I'm not radical feminist. I was just joking.
but it's just in general.
No, actually not. No, actually not.
In general, though, like, radical feminism is too much. It's placing too much pressure on men to change things.
It's a very white-centric way of looking at feminism
yes.
as
Going
well.
back to that power struggle thing that you mentioned, yeah. So obviously, I feel like it's white men, black women, black women. Do you feel like, as black men, we see ourselves as men first before being black?
Depends on the situation.
Black men have the option to choose.
Okay, fair.
They have the option to
And
choose.
you guys always, I guess, see yourselves as black women before women.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, we can't. You can't separate the two. For me personally, I can't separate the two
So why do we get to choose then?
because by power of being a man, you get to choose. How many black men make decisions based on what men want?
As opposed to what black men want.
Martin Luther King was out here fucking with white women.
Word.
No, that is actually quite true.
We about to get into it or what?
No, that is true. That is true.
Really interesting.
It's like black men, they struggle between. That's why I said it's circumstantial, because in front of a gun, they're a black man, but in the workplace they're a man, and so it really depends on their circumstances. Like, and that's why I have an issue with black men sometimes, where they want us to rally behind them when they are being victims of police brutality, which we should. Don't get me wrong, but in the workplace though, if it's me against the black man, they're not supporting me. They're gonna make sure they get to the top. And I think it's like they have to stop being circumstantial with the support. It's like, if you want us to support you in every sense of the word, then you've also got to support us in every sense of the word, not when we're just half naked on Insta and giving you body, like, you know what I mean? It's like, body.
To add insult, you're not even come and order up like one turkey. But what the hell is that?
Literally,
no,
like,
not in that way, but like the only time you ever see
no, I
dark skin
get
women
it.
is like that. Do you know what I mean?
Every time you see a dark-skinned black girl go viral is when she's half naked, oiled up. Like,
And
when
an
you,
hourglass shape.
and an hourglass
Certain
shape.
shapes.
If she doesn't
A
have
small
tits,
nose.
ass, don't bother.
Yeah.
And a
Don't
small
bother.
nose as well.
Basically like European.
Eurocentric,
features.
yeah. Like, have you looked at all of the dark-skinned black models that do well? They're dark-skinned, but they've got Eurocentric features.
100%.
They've got small lips, small nose, smallish eye, big eyes even if they have that, but then they're really petite and, you know, they're not that black apart from being dark. That's it. And it's like, you know, basically. So it's just like, yeah, when it comes to black men, like, they need to choose. As soon as they choose to support us in every sense of the word, then I feel like that's when we can really start making moves.
I don't give a heck.
I don't think that's gonna happen though.
I don't give a heck.
It won't happen as a collective. It will happen
That's what I'm
individually.
saying. Yeah.
But I think that's the way forward, though. Like,
It
I
is the
think
way forward.
it's like it takes one black man going, I need to change my ways. I'm gonna tell this person how to do so.
nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
That's just through, I think it's through a new generation of kids, and if people teach their kids right, because
Different.
over the age of 20, more time people are stuck in their ways anyway. Like, it's young, but 20, like, a lot of men aren't changing their minds about things. They get to uni, this is how they think now.
I think when I finished, you know, I just think when I finished.
Not the unborn kids that we have to have hope
No,
for that.
girl, they're getting up to some great, like, think about how much mad things men our age above, a little bit below, have been able to get up to. And then the kids coming up with, like, social media, phones, things always in their face. I'm hearing sexual assault in schools has risen by 30% in that. Girl,
Wow.
That's disgusting.
in school.
That is crazy.
Sorry, what age?
School.
Primary and secondary.
I don't remember the statistic. Let me try and find it.
Hey.
Wow. That is scary.
But I don't know. I always had hope that our generation would be a bit more
That's what-
like we're a bit more. I don't even know that word. Yeah, we're more likely to like stop all this generational stupidness.
But then it's
But
like
now
a-
I just feel like it's gonna be
Maybe be the
one
ones
half
under
is gonna be
us.
like really self-conscious. The other half is just gonna be doing the same thing that our parents did.
I feel like it's very circumstantial as well, because same way that you was saying, like with your boys, for example, you couldn't imagine certain things occurring. It's different small pools of people like making the change. Hence why it's like it's important, even if you say it or you don't say it at all, like as a person you essentially can make change within your community, within your family. It's a small sign. Do you get what I mean?
I think it's a step in the right direction.
Exactly, but it's I know, looking on a grand scale, especially population, you know, ratio black people to white people, it is small. Hence why some people might say, cool, I don't really feel like I can make a change. What can I do? I'm just, you know, within my community. But that's what I thought. I always thought our generation would kind of, especially if, like we know that there's social media that's going to be out there. Look at like 5-year-olds learn how to use iPads and all of this and all of that. They're exposed to much more things. However, I feel like it's also what you teach in the home. And we could say that, cool, what our parents teach in the home, bare of us went, you know, left. However, I feel like the way sometimes, like, for example, like even our parents' generation as well, the way that they might communicate to us, I feel like the way we will communicate to our children will be much different and more open. But again, circumstantial, but I feel like change can come. You know, by God's grace, but it's circumstantial, and I feel like it's important to recognize as well, if, you know, your boys or your girls, you know, they don't think like that, that's good. You know, they don't think like that, try to create those conversations elsewhere. That's why conversation is important.
Yeah, like we need to drag the conformity bias in our direction. So it's like right now people just want to conform, and it's easier to conform to what everybody else is doing, because quite frankly it's hard to be different.
Yeah,
It's really, really hard.
So hard.
And it's like, for us to shift to the conformity, like we need to all turn around and say, okay, we might not see racism change drastically in our lifetime, but we need to all go, okay, but when we have kids, we're teaching them the right way to do things, and they need to turn around and start doing that, and then that's when the conformity will shift in our side. Like, I think with the problem with like the BLM things was like we were trying to create change that month. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we were doing 20 protests thinking, okay, like policy was going to change. We're going to have a black prime minister tomorrow and all of parliament's going to be black tomorrow. It's going to be great. And I think when we didn't see that change, that's when everything kind of shut down. Everyone was like, this was just long.
Do you know what? I think it's because white people were able to kind of set this, like, all of a sudden it was everywhere. White people, I'm sorry. What initiatives can we do? Do you want some money? What do you want? Do you want me, like, what can we do? Like, do you want free food? And it was like, I think at that time it was like, oh, right, great, we've got white people's attention. Let's do what we can. And I think now that I think it's not when we have the white gaze on us, it's about what we do
outside of that.
outside
We need
of,
like a plan. That's what I think. We need a plan of like what you're actually gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's why I'm like, it's about the one person having a conversation with someone. And it's not even just other black people, it's white people too. Like, this might be really controversial, but I don't think a big percentage of white people are racist in the sense that they woke up that morning and said,
Oh no,
I don't like black people. So I don't turn around and like not like them
These
tomorrow.
niggas.
And I said that all white people are racist, and I'm like, how can you say that? I was like, well, if you play into this system, into institutional racism, you uphold it, you feed into it subconsciously, or whether you know it or not, you are playing into it. You are
I
racist
agree.
by benefiting from. I'm not saying you wake up and say nigger this, nigger that. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what being racist means all the time. It means that you're not acknowledging your white supremacy. You're not doing anything about it, and a lot of people don't even have the means or know they have to do the research to know about actually a white supremacist.
But then it's
People
like
think you must wear a hood to be a white supremacist. Like, you don't have to.
where the whole white
No, you
thing,
don't
like.
have to.
And carry talk.
But I think it's like, but that's the problem though. We're fighting the fight like everyone knows that they're being racist, and I think that's the issue. Like, it doesn't take
You think
2
that
days.
now,
Yeah, like right
everyone-
now, like obviously there are things that white people can come and say and do that they don't realize is racist. And I think it's about turning around and changing their subconscious biases. Like, we can't tell them. 'Cause I think the problem with the protests and everything is like, as much as we're bringing awareness, they're like, okay, but everyone's angry. And you, like, if someone comes and starts shouting at you, you're not going to turn around and be like, okay, I'm going to be compassionate. What can I do to help? Like, you're just going to defend so that they can shut up and stop shouting at you. So, like, we need to start having more conversations going, this is something that you've done that you may not think is wrong, but it actually is, and this is why. And you'll be surprised by how many white people actually are like, oh my God, I never realized that. And they will turn around and go and speak to somebody else and be like, oh my gosh, like I said this and I realized that was racist. And we need more white people having conversations with each other.
Yeah.
But then for
We've
them
said
to have
enough. We've been
conversation
saying
with each
something
other.
hundreds of years.
Oh yeah, like it won't happen in the next 2 years, but
No.
it's about us having conversations with white people and actually having conversations. It's not about, I'm getting called. It's not about us like shouting about it and getting angry, because at the end of the day, everyone just wants to cure your anger. They're not going to they don't want to cure the reasons for your anger.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about having those conversations. And the people that are outrightly racist, we shouldn't even be having conversations with
I
them.
feel like black people are tired
I
of
was
trying to
literally
educate
about to
white
say.
people and having conversations. We've been having conversations for like 500 years.
And if you want to converse, pay me. Like,
I mean, we don't have to have outright conversations. We can bring up something that wasn't right and then direct them to Google.
but we do that all the time, though, sis. That's the thing. But the initiative for them, and it all goes back to incentive, and that's what it is with supremacy. You've got to give these people an incentive. Like, the amount of times I've directed black men, for example, to an article about all the ways that black men have been fucked over in one article. Yeah, I'll read it, man, read it. Week later, have you read it? No, but honestly, man's gonna read it still. Okay, so what? A white person. Why I no longer talk to white people about race? Oh, have you read it? Oh, I just haven't been able to get through to it because Easter holiday's been so hectic with the kids and going to the country home, whatever. So it's like, me personally, like, you can't power's not negotiated, it's taken. And I feel like we've been talking for so long that now it's kind of time to like utilize how we're gonna now take the power back.
But I think that's the thing though. If we're trying to take back power, they're just gonna try and take it back again. We're gonna constantly be in a fight of power. Like, we're trying to get into a point where we're all just able to live. Like, we're just able to be there and not have those issues. Like, so I don't know. I don't know how we can get to a point where they don't see us rising as we're trying to take everything away from you. We're just trying to say, hi, I want to be able to walk down the street and not get profiled because I look a certain way. Like, And I think that's the thing with like going at it in an aggressive way. It makes it look like as if we're trying to.
But see, this babe, this is where you fell at the first hurdle though, because we're gonna be seen aggressive whatever we do, because they've had the power to paint us with one kind of brush.
Yeah.
So like, if we shout, a black man dying is like, all the reactions that people are gonna have, it's gonna be warranted. Like we just saw someone get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This like the aggressiveness, the name calling. The aggressiveness, the name calling, like that's again victim blaming is a symptom of supremacy. Why would I fix the problem when I can just call you aggressive?
True.
That's true.
And they've been doing. I feel like your tone is so aggressive. I literally said good morning. I literally just said good morning. That's all.
If I'm not talking in the office, it's because I'm anti and I don't like people.
I don't like this, please, man.
Like, it literally gives me
Introverted black
anxiety
women.
to be in the office.
Hey,
I'm
Zara, you don't come to the
God.
pub link ups often,
I
no?
must be so full of energy in the office.
Being
Please,
an
today I'm on fire. Because it
Introverted
shows
black
that
women,
I'm-
everyone thinks you're just angry.
Come on,
all the
man.
time.
Yeah, because black women are supposed to be tap dancing
Then
and
before
juggling
you
and
know it,
providing
they'll do it
food.
to you and get you out of the office straight away.
I didn't think Emeka. I don't think Emeka was, being social. Shut your mouth. Me, I just want peace and quiet. You're shouting in my ear in the morning, please.
Emeka, mate, what's going on? Can we keep inviting you to the pub link
Can I
up?
call you Emmy? Do you know
You didn't even try it, sis.
Mary.
Sorry. Yeah, no, you're not even trying. Like, we have to overcompensate all the time. I might just be a quiet Emeka. Do you understand?
You'll be wearing common perfume. Oh, I didn't know black people can afford perfume.
Where did you hear that?
No. Oh no, I'm not Ghanaian. I look at my head shape, man. It's so Ghanaian. It hurts.
No one's ever. Someone's actually said that to you.
No, but that's the kind of
thinking
that's the
that's
kind of stupid
mad.
shit they pull out in the
That's actually
office.
wild.
That is actually mad.
Sorry, I was about to say that's wild.
That's actually wild.
And it's like, as black people kind of going in as well, you kind of know this. You have to overcompensate for.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Especially if you're trying to be in that particular crowd, or like it gets up, if that makes sense. Like, you have to overcompensate. I must be jolly Johnny in the morning, even when me have had 2 hours of sleep because Sally sent me an email.
Let me die.
Like, honestly, like, it's sad, man.
Allegedly.
It's really sad. No, but it's sad. It's sad how that that occurs, and it's like, we know that going in. So yeah.
We're actually laughing because you can't cry, but anyway.
No, what the wicked, you know?
Otherwise we will cry.
Bruh.
But yeah.
So, plans for the weekend, girls?
Cocktails this weekend, girls?
No, I don't know about you guys, but when outside opens,
I feel like I'll be at home.
I feel like I'm
That's
be
what I'm saying. I
honest.
feel like I'll let the first wave, you lot's test the waters.
good for you. Catch
I'd
me in
just be like, guys,
Shoreditch
you can have a
with a
time.
crack pipe.
So when you want to be there though, you're gonna get there and be like, okay, I'm ready to party. Or you're gonna get there and be like, okay, get me
I want
home.
to go home.
Honestly.
I feel like you'll see when you get there.
Oh, good for you, Sha. Me, I'm there, bruv. I'm there.
I feel like
Because
I'll
I
ease
talk that
into
shit
it
too, but I know I'm going to go there and basically cry.
I say that, but then when the sun starts coming out, the heat
Yeah.
starts coming.
yeah,
Maybe
maybe it's the weather.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
weather doesn't have me feeling it. But if it was hot and like I'm trying to go to a day party where you can have your little booth with the girls and you don't have to be around everybody, then maybe.
No, I don't want booth. Breathe on my ear, man. Breathe on my, right here in my ear. Breathe on it.
Daddy's your own.
Breathe on it.
I like I missed it.
I think it's gonna go back to normal. Can't lie.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna lock us back in 2 weeks.
It won't be 2 weeks. It'll probably winter time again.
I don't know. I feel like it'll be
That's okay. To be
September.
I don't mind being locked down in winter.
What do you lot think you're gonna? What's one thing you lot think you're gonna do that you were never gonna do, but because of the pandemic you thought, nah, what the hell, life is too short.
Travel as often as I can. Like,
Yeah, I feel like when they. Yeah, I don't.
Can't think of
if the money provides, honestly, I want to travel like everywhere if I can.
Yeah,
I
we
feel
can
like
wait,
see
man.
more of my friends and family, God willing and permitted, but like nothing like mad. I don't know. What about you?
Mad.
One thing I would do.
I know about a
She wants to do everything, so she doesn't know.
There's so many things. Hold grudges list, you know. I know, I'd on it because no, hold grudges because the last like proper workplace I was in, there was a girl that I got along with really well, and we just like didn't end on great terms over something so dumb, and I just haven't seen her since. And because of the pandemic and everything, like you don't really get to
See people.
bless things as much, so just like not hold grudges. And then like a pandemic and the way people have died, nah man, that sounds so cliche.
No, I
want to try crack.
I think do things for myself more, if that makes sense. Like I feel like the pandemic has really shown me that I don't do anything for myself. But now, like I feel like as soon as shops open, I'm gonna be in shops trying on clothes, buying clothes, go sit at a restaurant by myself, all that sort of vibe. I never used to do things like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I had a good one, I just forgot.
It really gets like that. I'm trying to think of what I'm
But where to the holding grudges thing though? Because I was thinking about people I'd stopped speaking to, and I was like, oh my god, like people are dying, and you're really not talking to this person because of that. Like,
yeah, just being more compassionate. Like things can really happen. Like you know, there were people who were there, and then people who were gone because of this pandemic, and it's kind of like it's just being open. I guess it's on similar lines, just being open to hearing what people have to say. Like you know. Yeah, I think I've just learned to be a lot more compassionate during the pandemic. I'm not, you know, judging people and thinking, oh my gosh, you're just a horrible person.
Yeah, that
blah, blah,
meme
blah.
was like, this is how much you know of someone's life. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Like, and I'm listening more as well, like to my friends in general, like checking in and asking if they're okay.
That's so important.
Like, because it's like, you know, I think I've spoken to my friends more this pandemic than I have.
Than if we were allowed outside.
Yeah, like especially before this pandemic, like these two will tell you that I ghosted.
Yeah.
I was basically a ghost, but then like I was like, when we got onto this pandemic, I was like, well, like I actually don't speak to my friends enough, and it's been nice to just be able to just randomly call my friends and chill and talk, and I think that's how you bond, like growing bonds with my friends.
That's a good one.
I love that.
Keeping
Hey guys, well, we're gonna.
You didn't say your one.
I forgot mine. I really did. We're going to wrap it up now. So if everyone wants to go around and plug themselves while I think of a title for this YouTube, because we went off on a tangent. But anyway, a good tangent, amazing tangent.
Yeah, oh my god, because this wasn't even the plan. Like
We spoke
this was not the plan at all.
We're gonna be back posting fitness content really soon.
Summer body,
So
June 21st.
period. So what's my fitness account again? _the fitness plug.
OV.X on Twitter, OV on Instagram. I don't really do much.
I forgot to say Instagram by the way. Sorry.
On Instagram, I don't really do much. I'm just living my life. If you want to see me tweet shit, come follow me on Twitter. Do you know what I mean?
You can find me on my personal Miss ZJXO, or you can find me on my fashion brand Miss Savina, launching in September, or the Girls to Women podcast. I host it with my friend Nadja, and we just talk about similar issues to this, going through theories and why and how they've perpetuated through society and how we can change things. But then also talking about cute girly stuff as well. So we're not all doom and gloom.
We're singing of femininity. I love that.
Love that.
Right?
Oh, hi guys, Mary. Oh no. You guys can find me. I forgot my Instagram name, so Katora will put it somewhere. But follow my personal development brand, motivational development brand called Motivations. Giving all things career, mental health, and all of that good stuff. So
Yes. Thank you guys for being here.
thank you.
So you got anything else you want to shout out or anything? It's your channel.
No.
That was lit.
Yes.
I need this file, bro.
Yeah, why not do this fast?